Welcome to another excursion, this time with steam locomotive 765 from the Fort Wayne, the Nickel Plate Road on September the 18th and 19th, a two-day round trip to Huntingburg, Indiana in 1982. They're servicing the engine and getting ready to take and go from Louisville, Kentucky to Huntingburg, Indiana. A nice head-end shot of the steam locomotive. These trips were also a sellout, as all steam trips are, and there are people on a waiting list, so if somebody cancels, they can slide in and take their place. But this was a fall excursion. The cylinder cocks are open, expelling any water that's in the cylinders. We're coming around a curve into Georgetown, Indiana. Just past the west end switch. Crandall, Indiana. The train's headed west. Making its way through southern Indiana on a sweeping curve. There's 765 on a high fill. The shot was taken from Indiana State Road 64. Passing through one of the picturesque towns in southern Indiana. And there goes the rear end of the train around the sweeping curve. Note the green foliage of the September. Here we got people all along State Road 64 watching the steam engine as it comes by. Now you know why this train was going slow and having a freight meet. There's the southern engines. Steam engine is holding the main while we get the pass here. This was a treat that wasn't planned on. There goes the end of the freight train with the caboose. And you see people all around to see the train. 765 has gotten a clear signal to go on west. The switch has been thrown and she's headed west. We're back in New Albany, Indiana on the flood wall at the foot of State Street. in New Albany, Indiana with the Louisville, I mean, their Smith Furniture Store, a staple of New Albany, their warehouse there you just saw with the sign on it. Off to your right is the Louisville, New Albany, and Carden boxcars of the short line that interchanges with the Southern up at Carden Junction, and it goes over to Carden, Indiana, to the industrial park that's at Carden. And the southern interchanges here, anything to be left to any of the businesses or industries in New Albany, here at the New Albany Southern Yards. We'll be soon heading onto the K&I, Kentucky and Indiana Terminal Railway Bridge to Louisville, headed east. Here we are on the curved, the double track approach to the bridge. The southern switch engine had to come out to help us. We couldn't make the grade. They sent a crew from Louisville in to grease the rail. Instead of greasing the side of it so it wouldn't have any friction, they greased the top of the rail and the steam engine couldn't get no traction. So they had to bring the diesel out, and we were just lucky that we was able to make it back up onto the bridge. Here we are with some amarrs of the steam engine again on the second day. There's some people out taking photographs of it, seeing the train as we're headed west to Huntingburg. .765 making its way around a sweeping curve in southern Indiana. Running at track speed with a sellout crowd again this day. Note the sun shining on the side of the Huntingburg, Indiana, coming into the yards. The train will be turned here at Huntingburg to make the return trip to New Albany and Louisville. The train engine was serviced and the cars was watered here at Huntingburg before we took and returned to New Albany and Louisville. We're on a half fill here headed into Georgetown, Indiana. This is the bridge on the west end of Georgetown. A great place to photograph trains. The steep grades here, and helper services are used to get up the grade. Getting a good still shot of the steam locomotive here and the passenger coaches. We're at the entrance, west entrance of the Duncan Tunnel at Edwardsville, Indiana. The 765 approaching the tunnel on the return trip. On September the 19th. They're getting a head-end shot of the steam locomotive and the coaches. It's been a good 2-day run on September the 18th and the 19th of 1982 with the nickel plate 765.